Hello, everyone. Welcome back to season 9 of Vulnerability Time. It's so great to be here for another season. Folks, remember to share the podcast, subscribe, follow the podcast. You never know whose life you're going to heal or change by just simply sharing the podcast. We're all in this together. We're all worthy and deserving of healing and deserving of love. So love someone today, including yourself, even if it's hard, even if you don't feel like it. Also, if you want some more healing, go and check out my books on Amazon. One's an interactive journal notebook, and you can interact with it. It's very self-awareness and to learn yourself and others if you want to learn more about yourself. The other one's a really neat poetry book that I wrote some years back. So all that can be found in the episode description below. And with that being said, this is another episode of Vulnerability Time. I am your host and published author, Josias Abriel. Beautiful. Okay, everyone, we love a pre-recorded intro. So with us today, we have Ash. Not the other Ash. I mean, they're both awakened. How cool, right? But this is a different Ash. Welcome, Ash, to the Vulnerability Time podcast.
Josias, thank you so much. I can just hear an echo. Sorry about that.
Oh, you hear an echo? I don't hear anything.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pop these in.
Okay, yeah, pop your earphones in. Well, while Ash does that, folks, today I'm sure you can tell by the title what we'll be talking about today. So we have it, we're going to try to get to, the NDE, which means near-death experience, mental health, and plant medicine. So yes, but before we get into that, Ash, welcome, and let us know a little bit about you. Let us get to know. Wait, before Ash does that, I want everyone to know I have been looking forward to this episode. Ash is awakened. Ash has this very, very, very unique energy that I haven't experienced enough because it really stands out to me, the vibrations that I've gotten with my interaction with Ash. It's the exact same vibrations that I'm feeling and energy that I'm picking up as when I first met Ash, and ever since then, because of that, I've been really looking forward to Ash. You're such a gift to me. You are. And I'm not just saying that. I know I don't know you. But your vibrations and your energy, Ash, is very, 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 very much a gift. A much needed gift as well. A needed and wanted gift. So thank you for being born. So
Thank you, Josias.
now that I'm finished fangirling, Ash, tell us a little bit about you. Let us get to know you a little bit. What work do you do? Any credentials, things of that nature?
So I used to be a school teacher for 22 years. And in my second year of teaching, I knew that I didn't want to be a school teacher.
Yes.
And most of my adult life, I jumped in and out of teaching. So I was also a musician. So just before I started teaching, I started learning guitar, and I just loved it. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And as my guitar improved and I started performing, and so I would leave teaching, go be a musician, get even more burnt out and broke, and then come back and be a teacher. And so I was flip-flopping all the time. And then at the beginning of 2020, I just decided no more. It's time to really jump. And so I just made a very big decision at that time for me. I'm never going back to teaching, as in working in schools. And so my plan was I'll go play music. I'll just go play music. And I started planning to go to Canada for 3 months and traveling around Canada and playing music. And
Yeah.
booked up all these gigs in Australia, and then COVID happened.
Mm,
And within 3 days, everything was cancelled, all of it. And eventually what happened was, as soon as it, here in Australia, we came out of, we had several lockdowns, right? But in our first lockdown, came out of that, I went out and I was just busking in shopping centers. And because of the nature of our lockdowns here in Australia, it meant that I could go to an area for a certain while and then there'd be a case of COVID and they'd lock the whole city down.
mm,
And so I was literally, I'd hear on the news, there's been a case of COVID, and I'd take off and go to another city
yeah.
and then busk in shopping centers or on the street. And so that's how I was making my living.
Yeah.
And while I was doing that, I still had quite a lot of time to myself. And a friend of mine said, I'm running this coaching course, you should do it.
Mm,
And I thought, well, I don't like giving advice. I really hate giving advice.
mm,
And I said this to him, and he said, well, basically, you just ask people questions. You don't
mm,
have to give them advice. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. And so I went and did his coaching course, and friends kept coming to me, and I just was coaching.
mm,
And instead of advice giving, it was coaching.
mhm,
And then I was lucky enough to have a YouTube video about my near death experience go reasonably viral.
mm.
And so then I started having clients because they saw this video and I got featured on podcasts. And so straight away, my coaching business
Yeah.
started. And so,
Yes.
yeah, so I kind of fell into this work with a curiosity.
Were you on by chance? There's this YouTube channel called The Other Side, NDE. Were you on there?
I was, yeah, yeah,
Ash, you were on there? I love that channel.
haha, yeah,
You
yeah.
were on there?
I was.
How
Um,
did I know that? I didn't know. I actually didn't know, but that's
yeah,
the only NDE channel I watch because when I first found it, I was like, oh my God, these people are just like me. They experience what I experience.
yeah.
Ash, you were on there. Folks, y'all know I've talked about that channel on the show. Shut up, Ash.
Mhm,
I'm I'm telling the other Ash about this.
mm,
Wow.
yeah. Well,
Oh my
the,
gosh.
yeah,
Y'all,
there's
I
a great
love that
podcast.
channel. Sorry, go
Yeah, well,
for it.
there's a great. Oh, I was just going to say, there's a great NDE podcast which has been going for quite a while, which was Jeff O'Meara podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jeff does a really great job. He's interviewed many, many, many people with their experiences. He's a great interviewer. He's probably one of the most popular NDE podcasts in the world.
Y'all, I'm looking at Ash's episode right now. Oh, you can't see it. It's not video recorded. I'm gonna put it in the episode description below. Um, but yes, that's also another good podcast, Ash, that you talked about. Um, Interestingly enough, I've seen your episode. I just, oh my gosh, I have seen your episode before. Y- y'all have no idea how huge this is. I love how Ash is just like, yeah, I was on there, and I'm just like, oh my God. Listen, I love that channel, like that YouTube, like I love that channel, and so to me, I'm fangirling. It's taken me a moment to, to get over that. Wow. Y'all, I'm adding it to the episode description below. Also check that out. So you can see Ash's NDE, which we will be talking about today as well. Ash, listen, like the other side NDE has really just, oh, it has been so powerful in my life. I just discovered it 2 years ago. Um, and it just it's nice to see that there are other people that also experience what I've experienced, because there are some things that I'm just like, I tried to like gaslight myself and say, no, you didn't, no, that's Too crazy. That's too good to be true. But there are these other things that I would just be like, yep, nope, that's what I experienced. And there's colors that we haven't seen on this
Mm,
earth, and it's so beautiful. The love there, hell's not real, all that good stuff. Um, tried to get on that show, but I don't know how to get on it.
mm.
So for
I'll
now,
help you.
huh?
I'll help you.
Well, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, folks, that'll be in the episode description below. I'm sorry, I don't mean to take up too much of Ash's episode. I apologize
Mm.
for that, Ash. So yes, Ash, continue. I interrupted you. I do
No, no.
apologize.
Well, and Josiah, as you are, is perfect. Yeah. It's like, from the inside, right? There's the story that you're taking up too much time. Yeah.
Mm,
From the outside, from me,
mm.
and I'm sure as the people who love your podcast, you're so lovable. Right? It's like, oh,
You made me cry.
just as you are. That's lovable. Yeah.
Yes.
And somewhere, somewhere along the line, you were taught not to take up time. Take up time. Yeah. This is your podcast. Mm,
You.
yeah.
Thank you, Ash. You know what? I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. You know what's really interesting? Universe was telling me that yesterday. Universe, higher self, higher powers was telling me that yesterday. And you know how I know that it's not just my biases or my ego or my past experience, trauma and stuff telling me something is the universe will confirm it through someone randomly. Um I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times I've had strangers come up and confirm something that the universe was like, you're gonna know it's me because pretty soon someone's gonna confirm it. And it's usually at most within like 2 weeks. Someone confirms it, and I guess back then I counted the time, and it was like always 1 to 2 weeks. And now recently in my life, it's been like, oh, 1, 2 days. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. So Ash, thank you. You
Mm,
just confirmed it. I feel very light and seen, and I feel very, very loved. I really do. So thank you. And it's for me, it's really huge for me to receive that the universe loves me as I am a human being in this current moment. I'm in the human incarnate. So
mm,
it's really good because for the longest, before my NDE and even a little bit after, um, I didn't see universe in I was taught not to believe in universe first off. And so I had all these I was told that if someone speaks about the universe, oh, they're crazy, they're going to hell, and they're wrong. And so I developed this image, this false image of the universe. And so I recognized that, you know, um, of course it took my NDE to really to really break out, but I'm recognizing that my human self, um, in the back of my mind, this a little bit of my human subconscious kind of has those things like, oh, the universe is against me. If the universe, like the universe is against me. So me receiving and hearing confirmations, it's just another way to oh, I don't even want to speak anymore.
mm.
I'm just gonna revel and dwell in this. I feel very beautiful right now. Thank you, Ash. Thank you,
Yeah.
universe. Thanks,
Yeah.
higher
My
self.
pleasure, Josiah.
Yes.
It's a, and it's something about near death experiences where
Mhm.
you and I have both had them, right?
Yes.
And so it's like we experience this different reality, different possibility,
Yes.
and it can be the same for people that have plant medicines or have
Yes.
an awakening. Yeah,
Yes.
it happens and it's extraordinary, but then we come back into the same body with the same structures of survival.
Mm,
And so we know the word conditioning, right? So as we're growing up, we learn behaviors and patterns of being
mm,
to prevent us from being kicked out of the tribe or upsetting the tribe that we're growing up in.
yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we have these awakenings or these experiences, and it doesn't have to be a near death experience.
Right, right.
But then we still have the conditioning. We
Mm-hmm.
know that it can be different. And that's where the work really starts, right? That work of awareness
Mm-hmm.
and self-compassion and things like that. It's like, okay, I got angry at that person because they cut me off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's just my conditioning.
Yeah.
And when with the compassion, that's when those things start to slip away. Whereas, been many times in my life where I've resented myself for having conditioning.
Yeah.
That makes it stick. You can't get
Mm.
rid of it while you're resenting it.
Right, right. Yeah. Mm. So, um, so resenting conditioning, and after this, folks, I promise we'll get to the NDE right after this, but I had to write this down. So resenting conditioning could make it worse. That makes perfect sense now that because I've never heard that before, but that makes perfect sense. Oh, yes.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so
Because when
how
when you're resenting,
Mhm.
you're rejecting an aspect of yourself.
Um,
Yes, it's your human self, right? But you're rejecting that. Whereas when you embrace it all, no separation, we are all one, right? Everything has a purpose. So the resentment, it has a purpose, and what's it's
yes.
doing? It's protecting you. That's why you took it on, and that's why your tribe wanted you to take on the behaviors and patterns, because they were trying to protect you from the outside world.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted you to survive and thrive.
Mm.
So the resentment has a purpose. So when we can see the purpose, we can have self-compassion. It's like, I am a human being. Oh, okay. Can I be compassionate that I'm actually a human being with human traits?
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. That's beautiful. Wow. I wrote that down and everything. Um, that helps explain a lot. Wow. So let's get to the NDE because I'm really personally excited about that, Ash. And folks, last thing, and I promise the last thing. Well, actually, no, it might not be the last thing, and that's okay. So Ash's episode on the other side, mind you, I just now realized that that's Ash in the episode on the other side in DE. 3 weeks ago, I added I was scrolling through the other side NDE and I added Ash's episode to to my watch later. Um because it in its thumbnail it says you still exist, right? And I was
Mhm.
just like, oh, I wanna just, you know, hear more and just hear what I also experienced. Like I just love that. I love that. And so, but I had no clue. I had no clue until right now when Ash says it. How cool. And also I guess because his photos in black and white. So but yeah, but no, like I also like saw most of the video and I just it did not click. Oh, that's just so cool. I that's
Mm.
just so cool. But okay, so the NDE, the NDE, your near death experience. Can you tell us about that? What did you experience on the other side and how did you I don't like to use the word death. I like to use the word transition. But I will say I guess just how did you die? There you go. And
Mhm.
what did you
Mhm.
experience on the other side? The feelings, the looks,
Mhm.
whatever, all of it. Knowledge, everything.
So I had a back operation,
Mhm.
and during the back operation, the surgeons tore a vein. They didn't know they had torn a vein, and they sewed me back up and sent me back to the ward. And during the night, I was in a lot of pain, and I kept pressing the nurse's button, and they said, "Just press the fentanyl button. There'll be more pain relief."
Oh, that-
And then the next morning, the physio came in, and he said, "It's time to get up for your rehab." Okay. And so I sat on the edge of the bed and I looked down at my leg, and my leg was twice the size of what it would normally was. And I said to him, "Oh, my leg's not normally like that." And he said, he was very young, straight out of college. "You'll be fine, just hop up." I'm like, okay. So I stood up and then I just collapsed back down on the bed. For a moment, it was like I fainted, like I kind of just sort of faded out a little bit.
Yes.
And then I came back, I saw him press the red button, and the emergency team came running in, and the siren was going off, and they turned the siren off. And I was thinking, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. There's just something happening. I'm okay.
Mm,
And what then started to happen is I became hyper aware of everything that was happening. Right. So it was very clear where everybody was in the room, what they were doing, what they were saying. And they were putting the oxygen mask on me, the ECG monitors, and they were saying the ECG monitors aren't sticking because I was bathed in this cold sweat, like a
mm,
very, 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 very felt cold sweat. My whole body just went,
mm,
and eventually got the ECG monitors on, and they said he doesn't have a pulse, and I can hear this, right? And I'm thinking, I'll be okay, I'll be okay. And they said he's not breathing.
mm,
I'm like, I'll be okay, I'll be okay. And I just was kept thinking, my body will kick back in. My body will kick back in. I'll be okay. And they were talking about my blood pressure. And by then, one of the surgeons had made it into the room, and he was standing over at the end of the bed watching. And there were people taking notes, and there was the nurse who'd been tending to me standing there, like ready to do whatever was required. And then I heard them say his blood pressure's 52 on 36. And this had been going on quite a while.
mm,
And I thought, oh, I'm dying.
mm,
This is dying. I'm dying right now.
mm,
And then I just was so sad because nobody I loved was in the room with me. I just, oh, no one I love is here.
mm,
And that's when I started to fade out. And they were saying, keep your eyes open, Ash. Stay with us, Ash. Keep your eyes open.
mm.
And I just couldn't do it. And the last thing I saw before I closed my eyes was I looked over into the corner where the physio was,
Yeah.
and he was just pale, like, and just looked so fearful. And I thought, you poor guy, you think you've killed me. And then I blacked out, except it wasn't like a normal blackout.
Mm,
It wasn't like fainting. And you probably went through this yourself, questioning after the near death experience.
mm,
Maybe I just fainted. Maybe this happened. Maybe that happened.
mm.
And I too went through lots of those questions. But I became ripples straight away. I became these ripples that were just going out and out and out. And I was in this infinite space.
Mm,
It wasn't, I wasn't in my body anymore. It was, I was the ripples were me, and we were just expanding in all directions.
yes.
And I was amazed that I could think. Right.
Mm,
And there was this sensation of being myself.
wow.
And
Mm,
over the years talking about what's happened and processing what's happened, like, oh, it makes sense that the conditioning we were just talking about earlier, it slips away because that's part of the body.
yep.
That's not who I am.
Right.
That's part of that lifetime's body.
Mhm,
Hmm.
yep.
So that started to slip away,
Yeah.
and I'm feeling my true self, which was what I'd always felt,
Mm,
right? I was very familiar with this true self. I was really surprised. I thought, oh, I thought I'd become like an enlightened Buddha or something, but
mm,
I'm just myself. Ah.
mm,
And then I started to say I want to stay. And
mm,
meanwhile, I am the ripples, and the ripples are still going out and out and out.
yeah.
And I said, and I started saying it. It was like I was bargaining. I'm like, I want to stay for my partner.
Mm,
I want to stay for the kids.
mm,
And at that stage, I was in a relationship. It wasn't working. We were a blended family. We're all of us, the adults and the kids, we're all trying our best to be a family, but it just wasn't cohesive. And so I said, I want to stay for the kids. Still going, still going. And I'm like, whoa, I'm still dying. And then this warmth came over me, and it was like this kind of golden warmth. And I said,
Mm,
I want to stay for the work that I do and walk the planet from my heart.
mm,
And the instant I expressed that straight back into my body, I open my eyes. I hear them say, his eyes are open. We've got a pulse. He's breathing.
mm,
I was in a level 11 pain, extraordinary pain,
mm, mm.
which I later learned was because I'd lost so much blood, it was compressing on my organs and just
Yeah,
causing insane amounts of pain.
yeah.
Um, but I was so grateful to be alive, and I was
Mm,
moaning and I was screaming, but I was also at the same time thinking, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm still here, I'm still
mm,
here. And so that then led to, a very difficult time of illness.
mhm.
Yeah, there was quite a few days there where I was just a blob of meat on a bed,
Yeah.
and all I could do was just meditate or breathe in and out.
Mm,
And for a couple of days, I couldn't even move my legs, and so the nurse would have to move my legs for me. Um, so it was extraordinary though. But I was so grateful to be alive. And I remember
mhm.
on about the third day, I was talking to one of the nurses, a- and she was attending to me, and I just said, I'm so grateful to know this level of suffering. There's people that have this level of suffering every day. I'm so grateful to know what it's like
Mm,
in this life. And I remember observing myself saying that and just thinking, wow, I've never had gratitude at that level before. And it was gratitude for suffering, like really deep, deep suffering. And I was able to find gratitude in that. So,
mm.
yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy that that would
Yeah.
happen, but, life changing at the same time.
Wow. And you felt that unique love on the other side, right?
I felt my own love.
Yeah. You were just
Yeah.
love, right? Like you were just our love, experiencing love. Isn't it
Well,
beautiful?
and it was just this experience of myself. So
Mm,
now when I walk around in the world or operate in the world, it's like I
yeah.
have my own soul's fingerprint. You have your own soul's
Mhm.
fingerprint. Everybody does.
Yeah.
They all have their own fingerprint, and it's uniquely them. And
Mhm.
when we die, we reconnect with that as well. It's always with us, but
Mhm.
we are just that, not the
Mm,
human difficulties that we have. We are that. But
yeah.
of course, we don't have the human blessings that we have as well, as far as, you know, the smell of a flower or the
Mm,
sound of the voice, right?
yeah.
I will never have this voice again in any lifetime.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's
Mm.
a good point.
And there was a moment in my recovery where I developed severe blood clots after a week,
Mm,
and my left leg, was extremely swollen, but even worse because it clotted up. Um, and I remember looking at my legs and just thinking, when I was about 11, 12 years old, one of my mum's friends used to call me chicken legs, and I hated it, right? I had skinny legs, still do, but I hated that. And I remember looking at my leg and just thinking, I'm very happy to get my chicken legs back one day.
mm. Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm just I don't even know what to say. I'm just loving everything that you're saying, Ash. Thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh. What did you feel a sense of cuz what I felt after mine and it didn't happen immediately. What I'm about to say didn't happen immediately. I do want to point that out. However, like years later I developed a homesickness from the other side. I developed a homesickness. Give me one moment, Ash. I need to plug in
Hmm.
my laptop. But I developed a homesickness And I talk about it, you know, on in episode 130, I talk about you know, my near death experience, right? And the beauty and all that. It was just, oh, it was just amazing. It was amazing, amazing. Um and I felt home, right? And because my when I incarnated, and what my the life that my soul contract chose, the parents that I chose and the family that I chose, you know, um how do I say this in the more awakened way? Why? Because I'm working on um my vocabulary. I feel like I'm in a stage now in my journey where I want my words to the best that it can mirror um my journey of like like just awaken. I want my words, for example, instead of labeling my journey as, oh, good or bad, I'm just going to label it as an experience, because that's what it is. It's an experience, like, because when I was on the other side, there was no, it didn't, anyways, but experience, right? So that's an example, because I'm still trying to verbalize how to even make sense of me changing my like vocabulary, just because I want to do that personally, to add more appreciation to my own journey, my human journey. I want to add my own appreciation to it, because for a while I just did not appreciate the human journey. I just didn't. I just didn't. And I'm just now learning to have a little bit appreciation. We're getting there. But have you have no, I'm getting off topic. Okay, so
It could be a good question.
have you heard of volunteers incarnate here?
No,
Oh,
no, tell me about it.
oh,
I'm
okay. So
interested.
I learned that I volunteered to come here,
Hmm.
and when I chose to come here, I knew that there would be points where I wouldn't like it here and that I would want to leave multiple times.
Mm.
Um I know in this reality we call it suicide, but I knew I would leave multiple times. When I chose the soul contract, when I worked things out, you know, and agreed to it, you know, I agreed to a lot of things. So so yeah, so I volunteered to be here. You know, I volunteered, and I how I feel been not within the past week, but up until last week, how I've been feeling about Earth. I've just been like, yeah, you know, I can leave. I want to leave. And I was actually planning to leave September 10th of this year, September 10th, 2025. And I said, universe, if you need me here so much, I was like, or if it's that important that I stay, I know I already got a I know when I know what age that I would leave Earth. I know that age. I did get to know that. Um, but it's just like I'm gonna go out of my way to leave before then. Um, so if I need to be here longer, um, you got 3 months to change my mind. Because
Hmm.
I'm ready to go. I miss home, and I mean, and but the reason why I mentioned the homesickness part is because um before I was 15, February 23rd, 2013, um my life before then, I never felt home. I always felt like an orphan on this earth. I still feel like an orphan on this earth, which is why I'm so interested in star seeds, just because I'm like I'm I I'm in a human incarnate right now. However, me just knowing like one of my home worlds would make me feel a little less orphaned on this earth,
Mm.
and um I know why I feel it. I know why, but the reason why I mention that, folks, is in Ash. The reason why I mention that is because when I was 15 and I left, right? I left. I went on the other side, and for me, I knew I left. That's what was interesting. So, because I know I heard many people, not all, but I've heard of many people, and folks, people's NDEs, everyone has like their different experiences, but for many people, they're like, did I just leave or what? It takes them a couple seconds or whatever. For me, I already knew I was gone. I just knew I was gone. Um, but what made me know it was the amount of like instantly, it felt like I was home. The amount of profound love. It felt like I was there before, like I've been there before. Um, in my human with my parents, that wasn't love. And I did not know as a human, and that's why I tell people, I was like, my NDE kicked off my healing journey, because I literally did not know that what I was experiencing, like the abuse that I was experiencing, and human, and if we're speaking in the human way, that was not love. I know. I mean, I didn't I didn't know that for humans that it wasn't normal for their father to molest them, to beat them, to do all these horrible and say all these horrible things. I didn't know that that was normal for, to have family tell you, "Oh, you should have been aborted. Go kill yourself. We don't want you here." I didn't know. I just was soaking all that in, thinking that that was normal until I left at 15. And that was home. That was love that I experienced. And I got to meet one of the extended masters. I didn't get to meet Buddha or the other extended masters. I got to meet the Jesus one, and that was strategic. That was strategic. That wasn't because it was more so strategic because my dad was a pastor and my dad was always telling me Jesus hates me and I'm going to hell. And so
Mm.
it took me meeting Jesus and Jesus saying, "Hey, hell's not real." Obviously, he didn't say it with his mouth. It was more telepathic.
Mm-hmm.
We can communicate. Fun fact, folks. So we can communicate, believe, but like you can also telepathically communicate, and that was really cool. And what was cool about the telepathic thing is that not only did I know that, I heard that, I felt that, was. It's just like we were just one. It was this amount of oneness, and so for me, years later, and by years later, I mean up until what, 2 years ago, I finally was able to verbalize what I'm feeling is homesickness. And I didn't always feel homesickness after I left and came back. That was something that's new. Well, to me, to my knowledge as a human being, that's something that was new to me, was this concept of homesickness. Um, I went to therapy and I love therapy. I'm all for regulating the nervous system and all this good stuff. Um, but I got a lot of like aha moments in therapy. I love therapy. There's this one thing that could not get aha'd.
Mm.
um, and it took someone telling me, um, and bringing up this concept of, and they're also awake, and I have to mention that for context, of like homesickness. And I was like, and I looked into it and I was just like, oh my gosh. that is me, and that makes so much sense. One, homesickness from um my family on this earth, their actions made me feel constantly that I was not wanted, right? So even in my own home, I never felt home. I don't know what that's like. As a human being, I don't know what home is like. I'm in a place right now where I like where I live, but I don't know home. I just don't. I only know home because I had that NDE, right? And I know that feeling. So now I know what it's like to feel at home. And I've not felt that on this earth. I felt like an orphan, and which was gonna happen anyway because I did volunteer, and I'm not from a a place like this or a dimension like this. Um, and I don't mean that necessarily in a like a I mean that is like a matter of fact. This is like what I experienced. Like I'm not from a dimension or a place like this. That's not necessarily where I'm from. I'm from somewhere else. I wish I knew and learned where I was from because I didn't think to ask that, and I'm pretty sure like on the other side you just know. So I sure I would have known, but I just don't remember. And maybe I know that's a part of the a lot of people's soul contracts is to incarnate here and we forget, right? That quote unquote spiritual amnesia. It's Earth is a very, very unique school because I believe Earth is the only one where we are majority of us are completely wiped. On birth, we are completely wiped of um, our where we come from, where we've been. I know some kids may remember, but eventually they forget. You
Mm.
know, I forgot a lot, but I didn't forget everything. I denied some things, but I've always knew them. And then, um, I had the NDE, and it was it saved my Earth life. I will say that because if it wasn't for that, I mean, I would have tried to commit suicide over and over and over and over and over again. Um, but yeah, so it was just, anyways, it's just this homesickness, right? And so that's I said a lot just to ask a little bit. Is that have
Mm.
you experienced any homesickness? Thanks for listening, Ash.
Josiah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about vulnerability time. You just personalized the vulnerability time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, language makes such a difference, right, to
Mhm.
how we feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because often our feelings are coming from our thoughts,
Mm,
right? So, with the language homesickness,
mm,
yeah, sickness, there's something wrong with you.
mm.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good
So,
point.
if we flip that language,
Mm,
it could be home longing.
I'm gonna use that now.
Yeah.
There you go. Write
Yeah.
that down. Home longing. Wow. Powerful. I like that better. I like that way better.
Mm,
That's exactly what it is, too.
mm,
That term fits better to what I've been. That feels better. I feel like I feel like I just fit better with that word than homesickness.
mm. Yeah.
Home longing. I'm gonna start using that now.
Mm, mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, there's nothing wrong with you, right? You're not sick.
Right.
It's just in your heart, there's this longing for a sense of home.
Yes.
And of course, the truth is, you are the home.
Mm,
You already are home. Yeah.
mm.
Um, I picked this up just before. I just got to move my
Yeah, it's so cool.
so I can see here. Let's have a look. So, you know, I call this an expansion ball, right? I don't know what they call it in the real
Yes.
world,
So for those who
but
can't see this, Ash has a colorful, I think it's an expansion ball. I thought
mhm,
that's what that was. How cool.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So it was often used as a kid's toy, but I use it to
Mm,
describe things with clients. So once
Mm.
upon a time, the whole universe was compressed into something smaller than this, right? All the
Mhm.
matter in the universe
Yes.
compressed.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
And then for some reason it exploded out,
Mm.
right? Your matter, my matter, all the matter all around us, we were all once compressed together as one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the stars, all the planets, all the suns, everything. Yeah. And so that matter that you're made up of, it's the same matter that I was once made up of.
Yes.
Yeah. And it all gets recycled. So we are home. We are
Mm.
home.
Mm.
Yeah. No matter what country, what house I'm living in,
Mm.
where I am, I'm home because what is surrounded around me is
Mhm.
home. Now, I
Yeah.
might have feel more of a connection to certain places, right? Like
Yes.
the vibration of a place might
Mm.
activate or resonate with my vibration.
Yes.
Yeah. So where I live now, we only moved here 3 months ago, but I can feel my roots. Yeah.
Mm.
So when we want to be somewhere else, it's often connected to belonging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about the strongest trees in the forest,
Mm.
they have roots. They go down. There's eucalyptus trees near me,
Mm.
and they're big ones. The roots go into the soil up to 10 stories deep.
Mm.
That's how they emerge and
Yeah.
grow so big, right? And
Yeah.
so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're feeling shaky in the world, it's
Mm.
like, okay, where's my roots?
Mhm.
Right? I need to put my roots into the ground. What does that mean? So if I said that to you, if you were going to put your roots into the ground more, what does that mean for you?
Um, I don't know how to answer that right now. I would have to think about that. I'd have to
Mm,
think to verbalize my answer.
hmm
Yeah.
mm, mm. See, Josiah, you have a talent, right, at connecting to guidance.
Mm.
Yeah. And so the mind has to think, whereas the guidance is there.
Mm.
Yeah. And so a practice, and I know I've kind of gone into a little bit of coaching mode here, but a practice for you to explore, and for anybody that's listening, yeah, a practice to explore is trusting your guidance.
Yeah.
Now, I had my near death experience because I didn't trust my guidance.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I even had, so how I injured my back to end up in back surgery
Mm.
was I wanted to go for a surf,
Yeah.
and I'd been surfing for a couple of weeks on holidays. I
Mm.
didn't want to go back to my job. Didn't like my job. And as the holidays progressed, my back was getting sorer and sorer and sorer.
Yeah.
And this was the last day of my holiday, and the surf was great. There was nobody else out. It was big, just what I love,
Yeah.
right? Have it all to myself. And I really wanted to go. And I was standing on the edge looking at the waves, and a voice, it was like God's voice, came into my head and said, "If you go surfing today, you will hurt your back."
Mm.
And I didn't want to go back to work. And I
Yeah.
said, "Bring it on."
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was like, and the dumbest thing, possibly the cleverest thing I ever said, right?
Mm.
And what happened was I went and got my board and I started paddling out. I went through the first wave, no problem. Started to get right out the back, and a big wave came through. I went to dive through that, and then I popped 2 discs in my back. Right.
Mm.
And so I was out in this big surf. I could hardly move. I had to paddle back in with one arm. I go back to the shore. I could hardly stand up. Like I couldn't walk. I was stuck in knee deep water, just standing there in immense pain.
Yeah.
But I didn't listen to my guidance. And it was the same with the relationship that I was in. It was the same with the work that I was doing.
Mm.
My heart, my guidance was saying, change, change, change. And my conditioning was holding me by choice, by my choice, right? It was a choice to stay in those things.
Mm.
But my conditioning was no, no, you need to help everybody else and put yourself last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing for my whole adult life.
Mm.
And so what happened was my near death experience, I had to come back to walk the planet from my heart, not everybody else's.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And so I had to work through the conditioning, which I still continue to work with.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notice I use the word work with, not
Mhm.
work on,
Right.
right?
Mhm, mhm.
Right? Every material in the world has a way of being worked with.
Yeah.
I don't work
Mm,
on my business, I work with my business.
mm.
I don't work on my podcast, I work with my podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
It's like I don't work on my life, I work
Mm,
with my life.
yes,
Yeah? This is a collaboration.
yes.
Mm?
I I
So,
love that.
mm? So coming back to the beginning, the mind will want to think. However, you already have the guidance, you already have the intuition. Yeah. And so it's just trusting that first thing that comes in. How do I establish my roots in
Mm,
the ground? Because when you establish your roots, you're going to grow a strong trunk. You're going to rise above the canopy. When you rise above the canopy, you can see far distances,
mm.
right? You can see the future. You can see, know your next step and have confidence in your
Yeah,
next step because you have strong roots.
yeah. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Well, because what first came to me, I don't know if it, I didn't, yeah, like I didn't know if it was my higher self, according to my soul contract, the universe, or if it was just my human self. Because I mean, I'm I don't have like long left in this incarnate. Um, so 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 like the roots thing, I don't know. I don't know. Just because like I mean I leave in 3 to 6 years.
Hmm.
Um I
That's 1,000 to 2,000 days.
uh, wow, go you. I would have had to pull out several calculators to be like, okay, how much is that? Yeah, math. Oh,
Mm.
math. Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000 to 2,000 days
Hmm.
to experience the wonder of this world.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nowhere else like this in the universe.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
I
right.
can't hear the sound of a car anywhere
Right.
else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
When
right.
I leave my body, I'll never hear that sound again.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. I can't hear a person's laugh or a baby's cry or the wind in the trees
Yeah.
or be on a mountaintop in the cold wind surrounded by snow.
Right.
Yeah. And experience that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Very, very, very unique planet. Earth is
Mm,
very, very unique dimension. One of a
mm,
kind, literally one of a kind.
yeah.
Um,
So, what would it take to turn the next 3 to 6 years into a holiday of experience while you're
mm,
here on this planet?
mm. Ash, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
please do.
honest with you. Ash, I've been ready to go. And ever since I was a kid, even before the NDE, I always knew
Mm,
that I wasn't gonna be here long. And that was
mm,
before suicidal thoughts. That was like way before. That was just so. And I mean, I know now, like that's part of my soul contract. Like I signed up to be very short. Earth is
mm,
already extremely short compared to other places, but very short compared to Earth times. And then so what happened, Ash, is that and there's a reason I'm going to say all this. It'll make sense to what you just said. So after my NDE, someone told me they told me to start calling it a superpower. So I get these unique dreams slash visions, and they end up coming true. And for many years, I denied them. I denied them. And then, but they just kept coming true. And they were so unique. They weren't just any dream. They weren't just any vision. It's the way it, I recognize it now by the way it feels in my just spirit. And then it ends up coming true. The most recent time this happened was last week. And I remember I told someone, I was like, I got on the phone with, there was two people and I was like, it happened again. And I don't know if it's for me or for society though, but what happened was pretty concerning. It looked pretty concerning. It turns out it was for me, and it ended up happening in 3 days. Um, but which actually it turned out to be something. Uh, the aftermath is very very beautiful, but but it. So anyway, so this some things like this have been happening for years, right? For years, some told me, "Oh, you might as well just be a psychic or a fortune teller." It's like, no, 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 because it doesn't come on command. It doesn't like I don't sit hold my hands, close my eyes, and let's see, folks, what you got. No, like that, it doesn't happen like that. I don't have, at least as of right now, I don't have any control over when it happens. But something that happened, that dream slash vision, I don't even know what to call it. I just don't, because the word dream and vision, it doesn't, it, I don't, it's so significant, and it kept happening for years and years, and I just denied it for the first years that it happened, and then it just kept happening, and I just couldn't deny it anymore. Part of that conditioning. you know um but the dream told me between the years of 30 to 33 is it's will be the time that I leave, right? It'll be Earth's words of death, right? um
So I'm going to jump in.
yes.
I'm curious. Do you remember the exact language?
I believe it was the transition, the big
Mm,
transition, but how I felt in it was me leaving this place.
hmm
Um, so that's what it was. And now I'm all for the whole, oh, it could be symbolic to
mm,
something while I'm still on this earth. Like maybe me transitioning, a literal transition, because I've been thinking about that. Like the actual just
hmm
complete sex change. Or it could be, the ending of something and the beginning of something, but something significant.
hmm
So I'm just like, I'm 5% sure it's that, but I'm 95% sure that it's me finally being able to go and go back, because the I how I view Earth, and I understand that it's also one, yes, my soul contract. I signed up for this. I signed up for it. So I'm recognizing that there's a lot that is just that, and then there's a lot that's also just my human experiences, and the way I view Earth, I know is not the way others view Earth. Like, like for me, and I'm still learning this, but for me, how someone views Earth versus how I view Earth, I view it completely different. I view this as a place that I was asked to come to, and that I don't, if I'm being honest, I mean, in the sake of vulnerability, I really don't mean this in a negative way. I truly don't.
mm,
I just don't care to come here. I don't care. I was like, New Earth, great. I don't care to come here. I want to go to this world over there, where it's, and yeah, but I literally don't mean that in a negative way, though. I don't mean this in a way of bashing Earth. I just don't know how else to say it. It's like, and this is not something that I share as a part of my NDE necessarily. I don't
mm.
ever share this as part of my NDE. This is actually something I'm just now finally having the courage to just own and just say, yeah, like this is just my reality, and but Earth is a very unique place. I understand that, like, but Ash, this is the thing. Like, yes, I went through what I used to. How about this? That I know how to say this. I went through what I used to define as awful, horrible experiences um in this incarnate. Awful. I
mm,
mean, my whole childhood was just filled with rape, physical abuse, emotional abuse, neglect, abandonment. I use both words because neglect is more intentional, abandonment is more unintentional. But I mean, I all of that, and it just over and over and over. And I remember even before my NDE, I was just like, it just seems like these things are strategic. It just seems like I was just always at this place at this time for this to happen, and it just seems strategic. I now know that, yeah, it was. And I'm only able to say it so nonchalantly now is because of, I got to see a little bit of my soul contract and things like that, and see how, like, a lot of this was, necessary. But as a human, folks, this does not mean you can't cry about it and things like that. No, no, not at all. Your experiences are valid. um but Ash, I've also experienced very, very, and I can totally say this word, beautiful, very beautiful experiences, right? Like, not in my childhood, no. All of these grand, great things started happening after the NDE, right? And I now see that there's a reason for it. But the point that I'm getting at is, like, yes, I've experienced some beauty, some
mm,
beauty on this earth, Ash. It does not change my mind of,
mhm,
I just, I mean, I mean, I'm just here temporarily. I don't think I'm ever coming back. I just truly don't think, like, even like on the other side, like, I just had this feeling, and even as a kid, and that's not the thing, like, as kids, we're coming from the other side. And so that's why when like, when I see a kid staring and pointing at something and saying something's there, I believe them, because I was like, their vibrations are different than mine. The world hasn't touched them yet. I was just like,
mm,
if a kid is pointing, folks, if your child is a kid and they said that they chose you, believe them. If they're pointing at something that you don't see that's there, believe them. It's there. It's there. Trust
mm,
me. They can see certain things that we can't see. I could see certain things that my parents can see. For example, like in our old house, there was this vase. It was just moving in that old house. Yeah, there was some things there. Um there's certain entities I think followed me. Ugh. Back
mm.
then, but I'm so sorry, Ash. I'm looking at the time. Oh, I got to be respectful of your time.
No,
Um,
you're fine. I just looked at my calendar and I was like, no, I have space.
Okay. Good, good, good.
Mm,
But yeah,
mhm,
so my mother saw the vase moving, but she didn't see. I saw a hand that was moving the vase.
mhm,
I saw a hand that was moving the vase. I don't even want to judge the hand and say, oh, it was demonic looking, or what we would depict demonic entities to look like. I don't want to judge it. I just don't. I just don't. I'm over it. But I saw what was moving the vase. But I was a kid. I was a kid, right? And of course I said there's something moving it, but I wasn't believed, of course, because my parents didn't see it, but I saw it. But because of that and just other things that I've seen as kids that other people, me and my brother both saw, um, but yeah, but I believe kids. I believe kids. I'm just like, if they're saying they see, or if that the old person who's on their deathbed, if they're saying they see someone at the door, oh, they probably do. They probably do. It's probably there. We just can't see it. There's a lot we can't see. We don't
mm,
see all the colors that exist on this earth. We just don't see that on Earth, at least right now. Not everybody, at least. I don't. I mean, maybe there's people that see it, but I don't know. But I know I don't see it. I know what I saw on the other side. I didn't get to see. I don't see on this Earth. Like, I don't see those colors. But the point of the matter is like, I'm very grateful for what Earth has taught me, because I now appreciate love so much more, because
mhm,
I lived as this incarnate without it. And I know that that's something very unique that Earth can teach. Um, Earth is a very unique school. And so I think about it, and Dolores Cannon had a point. She was like, she said that, what did she say? She said, I'm trying to verbalize it verbatim. Okay, I can't verbalize it verbatim, folks. I'm just going to try my best here. But she was saying how you don't really have this type of growth when things are always harmonious and easy and just loving. There's no resistance. Like, yeah, you can still grow, but it takes a lot longer than when if you incarnate on Earth. That's when Earth becomes very unique because this is a place where so many things exist together that don't exist on other places. Like, it was like joy and
Mm.
mourning exist so heavily here. So that made me think about it. And now, what I'm about to say next, folks, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just an assumption that I have about myself. This is something. So I do want, now all that other stuff, I'm just backing that up from my experiences and what I saw and stuff. But this, this makes me think, Ash, and there's a reason why I'm saying this. I'm going to bring it back to your point. Um, very, I think that the universe hasn't confirmed this though, but I think that the places that I've incarnated on previously have been so filled with love. So filled with love. All I knew was love. Privileged in that aspect. So privileged in it that, it just was great and it just was. It just was. How can I grow my appreciation for it unless it gets taken? Well, in my
Mm.
incarnate, taken by that, I mean, like, obviously, I'm still loved regardless, everyone is. But I mean, like, I experience hate so much in my childhood, from parents. So, literally, I remember after my NDE, I was able to also start to recognize love because not because I was receiving love from humans around me at that time, but because I knew what hate looked like. So hate taught me love on a different way. It taught
Mhm.
me love differently. It really did. Like, I mean, I appreciate love so much now. Um, um but yeah, it was the so I mean I'm just like, could that be like, yeah, I volunteered to come here, but when you come to a planet like this, you're just inevitably going to, experience, and this is a very unique growth planet. So I'm just like, because I mean there's other kind of like low vibrational planets, but they're not like Earth. Um So that's, at least that's what I got to experience on the other side. It's about like the other places to incarnate on. There's like tons, folks. There's tons. Oh my God. Like, I already believed in life elsewhere, but oh my gosh, wow, that really made me just really believe. But the point that I'm trying to get at is like, I I don't um want to. I don't mean this in a suicidal way. I'm staying now, folks, because the universe changed my mind. But I'm staying now. But I mean, I really do have this missing from other planets that I incarnated on. I call them home worlds. The places, and by home worlds, I mean the place that I first physically incarnated on, and the place that I incarnated on that I was loved the most. I call those home worlds for me. I mean, and of course I think about it a lot just because I'm tired of feeling orphaned. But
Mm.
so I I experience here. I enjoy my time here on Earth. I experience and um, but I also have always recognized before and after the NDE that I'm just really, really, really not from here. This is very out of the way for me, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So,
Which, you know, I'm going to say, like that, catch that phrase, right? It's out of the way, yet it is the way,
oh,
right?
that's
Like you talked
beautiful.
about your soul contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to understand love at a very, 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 very deep level.
Mm,
So live without love, live
yes.
in hate,
Mm,
you know, and learn love for yourself and that you're still a
yes.
good human being, regardless of what is happening. Yeah.
Mm.
The other thing there
Wait, before you
is,
continue,
mhm,
to
you
clarify,
go.
folks, sometimes I struggle when I verbalize something for the first few times. Out of the way, I love what Ash said, it is the way. Oh, that's beautiful. Um, but for folks out there listening, out of the way, when I say out of the way, for if you've never had an indie or first time hearing about this, so out of the way, I mean like it doesn't look like places that I've incarnated on in the past
Mm,
at
okay.
all.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, no, yeah, well, yeah, I guess for you, but
Mhm,
also just for others
mm,
who are new to this, to NDEs
mhm.
and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think something to be mindful of,
Hmm.
I can give it to you in an example. So
Oh,
a few
yes.
weeks ago, I was going to catch up with a friend at a cafe,
Mm,
and I do cold water, like ice plunges, cold water. So it's winter here. Almost every day, I'm in cold water, right?
oh. You
And
like plunge yourself in the cold water?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice. That's pretty cool. I tried to do
yeah,
that before. I could do it. I jumped right out, but nice. That's amazing. I heard that's good for your mental health too.
yeah, yeah. It activates the mitochondria. So the mitochondria
Mm,
in your cells, there's trillions of them in
mm,
your body, trillions and trillions.
brilliant. Wow.
And what they do is it's a bit like they release the energy of the sun,
Mm,
right? So if you get firewood and
mhm.
you burn a fire,
Yeah,
that wood has been absorbing the energy of the sun.
yeah,
It's releasing the energy of the sun to keep you warm,
yeah,
right? Energy only transforms, it never disappears.
yeah.
So when you go into the cold plunge, what it does is it activates the mitochondria in your cells. And so they start radiating out heat. They bring your body alive, they bring your mind alive,
Mm,
right? And the mitochondria are very much like the energy source in your cells.
yeah.
So that's one of the things I do to cultivate that.
Mm,
So I was running late for a friend because I had been cold plunging, and he was only a few hundred meters away from where I was. And I get there, and he's a very conscious person. And I said to him, "Oh, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting." And he said, "I wasn't waiting. I was being."
ooh, I'm gonna write that down. Write that down. Wow. That was, oh my gosh,
So coming back to
beautiful.
3 to 6 years on the planet, the mind shift from waiting to being. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure you might be away from home. Are you waiting? Or you're actually being really present where you are and experiencing life to the fullest here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Waiting,
that's a good point.
waiting gives your power away,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Waiting is external power.
yeah,
Being, experiencing,
mhm,
living, loving, internal power. That's your heart.
yeah.
That's your heart. Yeah. The mind waits, the heart, it burns.
You, you, Ash, oh my gosh. You want to know something? And I just talked about this with my roommate yesterday. So I was just waiting until I gave the universe the 3 months, and that awakened love in me. I was like, so in these 3 months, what am I gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna experience and I'm gonna love. I'm so Ash, I'm telling you, I started just because I used to, especially after my NDE, I just everyone noticed the difference. I just used to love everyone. Love,
Mm.
love, love, love. Then slowly I stopped, right? I stopped. Or I lessened it, right? And so and then within the past 2 years, I noticed that okay, I started stopping it. And so I didn't know that a lot of what I was doing was waiting until I gave the universe. I was like, "You got 3 months, and I want the sign to look like this. And yes, I'm making it hard on you, universe, on purpose, because the whole point is I'm going to leave." And I was just like, universe, I know I'm putting expectations. I know I'm doing that. Yeah, whatever. Oh, well, I'm aware of it all, universe, and I am leaving. I'm done. I'm over it. But I'm giving you 3 months. I'm giving you 3 months just because, I want to give you the benefit of doubt and, and I may have disagreements with my soul contract, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I have all that. And so I was like, for these last 3 months, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to go skydiving again. Oh, I'm going to try parasailing. Then I was like, I'm also going to love again, just like I used to. I'm going to love, genuinely love. And I did, and it was beautiful. And I'm doing it. And I'm going to continue to do it. Um, and it just, I even have it set on my phone background, Ash, to remind me that I am love also. And you see
Mm.
that? No, you can't see
No,
that.
no.
Oh my gosh. It's showing the phone, but it's not showing the background, everyone. On the camera. I'm holding up the phone. But
Mhm.
it says I see love, I feel love, I am love. But yeah, and so, you know, what popped into my head 3 weeks ago, or was it 4 weeks ago, was being was being um and then it just left my head, and then to hear you mention that just, wow, that just blows my mind. I'm gonna go back and listen to the episode and just dwell in these, and just really soak in and receive everything that you've been saying, and also re-listen to certain things, because when it comes to like earth things, like for example like the roots, I kind of like
Mhm.
my mind, I kind of and that's my human mind doing that. I don't receive it um the first time. I need to hear it again,
Mhm.
because
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I recognize like, oh, okay, like I'm operating off of certain things, and that blocked me from receiving. I'm so sorry. How good are you on time? We can wrap things up. I am so
Yeah.
sorry.
I've got another 8 minutes.
Okay. Well, let's wrap things
Sure.
up.
Mm.
Um, folks,
And Josiah, if you'd like to have another chat another time,
I was just
and
about to say.
continue, we can do that.
Yeah. Folks, the
Yeah.
show's not ending. Remember I told y'all the show was ending and that this would be the final season? Y'all didn't know that cuz I was planning to leave September 10th, but I'm
Mhm.
staying. Yes,
Mhm.
things happened, and I'm staying in that dream that I told y'all about. But anyways, so we will be seeing Ash again. Um, So I'm excited for that. Okay, so Ash, I'm gonna close out the show. Um, I mean the episode, and but
Hmm.
for like 2 minutes, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Is that
go
okay?
for it.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Alrighty. Folks, this has been marvelous. Hey, remember to tell yourself and somebody, I like to leave with a little challenge. Tell yourself and somebody that they are enough, that you yourself are enough, and that you are loved and you are love. Tell yourself that and then go tell someone else that they are enough, including yourself. Alrighty, bye folks. Love ya.